In this lesson, we'll be looking at solving inequalities that involve absolute values. And I think we already know what absolute values are from the lesson that we had on absolute values way back. So the property that we're going to be using is fairly simple. Let's say you have x inside the absolute value and you're saying that this is greater than 5, for example. You can write this as x is greater than 5 or x is less than -5. So remember, when you are dealing with the negative part, you write your negative number, then the sign will change to face the other direction. And another example we can look at is if let's say you have x to be less than 5, you can write this as x is less than 5 or x is greater than -5. So remember, the negative part, we are having a change of sign. So that is basically the concept that we're going to apply as we try to look at inequalities that involve absolute values. Okay, so let's try to solve these three examples that are prepared and see if we can properly understand this concept. So looking at the first example, we have 2x plus 1 inside the absolute value is less than 5. Okay, so we need to separate this. We're going to have 2x plus 1 is less than 5 or 2x plus 1 is greater than -5. We have a change of sign like that. So after we do that, we sort of solve this separately. So we're going to subtract a 1 on both sides. Okay, even here we subtract 1, subtract 1. Okay, so what are we going to get? We'll get 2x is less than 4, this part, and or 2x is greater than -6. Okay, this will give us, we divide by 2, we divide by 2, get x is less than 2, and divide by 2, divide by 2, it will be x is greater than -3. Okay, so we can write the solution like this, but we can also write it in interval notation as a solution set. So if we're asked to write it in interval notation as a solution set, all we have to do is basically draw up a number line, and when we do this, we'll plot our points of interest, which is -3 and 2. Okay, once you do that, you also put the circle, the type of circle that you're going to have. Since we have a less than and a greater than, and we said that an open circle is used when you have a less than or a greater than, and a closed circle is used when you have a less than or equal to, a greater than or equal to. So in our case, we have less than and a greater than, so we'll use open circles. And if you look at this, we're saying that x is less than 2. So x is less than 2 is basically going in this direction. Okay, and we have we have x is greater than negative 3. X is greater than negative 3 is going in this direction. Okay, so the solution set is where these two overlap, and that's here. That's where the solution will be found. Okay, so you can use the method that we used to use at first, where you divide this in three parts, then you test it to find if you get a true statement, but actually there's no need. uh, you can just do it, it will give you the answer. Okay, but it doesn't mean that for those other types of equations where I was splitting the number line in three parts, you also start doing this. No, this is a different case. Okay, so once we do that, the solution set is going to be negative 3 comma like this, and we know why we're using this. We're using parentheses instead of using this type of brackets. Okay, it's because we have open circles, and we said that for open circles you use parentheses, and for closed circles you use brackets, and these types of brackets. Okay, so that's how you solve this first this first question. Let's try to look at the second one. Okay, so for the second one we have x minus 1 less than or equal to 3. So separate equal to 3 or 6 x minus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 3. Okay, so we'll add a 1 on both sides, or we can just say this one is jumping to the other side and becoming positive. It's one and the same thing. Okay, so it will be 6x is less than or equal to 4. Now 6x is greater than or equal to negative 2. You divide by 6 divide by 6, you get x less than or equal to 2 over 3, and this side it will be x is greater than or equal to negative 1 over 3. So we can write our solution in interval notation. We write up number line, so we put our points of interest. We'll have negative 1 over 3, then we'll have 2 over 3. Okay, so now these will have closed circles, since if you can see here, it is we have a greater than or equal to and a less than or equal to. So this one is saying x is less than this, so it's heading this direction. And what is this one saying? Saying x is greater than negative 1 over 3. So it is, okay, let me just change the color for this other one. It is heading this direction. So the solution set is going to be where these overlap. Please don't use this method for quadratic inequalities. For quadratic inequalities, test the way we were testing, where you divide the number line into three portions, then you test to see if you get you're going to get a true statement or a false statement. Okay, you do that for quadratic inequalities. Okay, so here we are saying that the solution set is the solution set is, I'm going to use these brackets, -1 over 3 comma 2 over 3, because we have closed circles, not open circles. That's why we are using these brackets instead of using parentheses. This, okay. All right. The last one. Okay, so for this one, it's best if you isolate the absolute value. You leave it, it should be alone on this side, then you can evaluate. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically subtract 14 on both sides, or just say this one is jumping to the other side. Yeah, but subtracting 14, get 1 over 5x minus 4 is less than or equal to 25 minus 14. Okay, what is 25 minus 14? It's 9. Or is it? Is it 11 or 9? It is 11, yeah. Okay, so we have 1 over 5 x minus 4 is equal to, we have 11. Okay, so we need to remove this 5 as well to take it to the other side. So we're multiplying both sides by 5. So we'll have this basically 11 times 5. What is 11 times 5? That is 55. Yeah, 55. So you have 55. Then you're going to separate. You're going to have x minus 4 is less than or equal to 55, or x minus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 55, like that. Okay, and we're going to make this one to the other side. Even here will remain x. X is less than or equal to 55 plus 4. X is greater than or equal to 50 negative 55 plus 4. So we'll get x to be less than or equal to 59, and this part will get x to be greater than or equal to negative 51. Okay, in interval notation, we're going to draw up our number line. So we have 59 somewhere here, and we have negative 51 somewhere here. And the type of circles that we are going to have will be closed circles. And this one is headed towards this direction, and the other one is headed towards this direction. Okay, so solution set is going to be here. So your answer is going to be that the solution set is 51 comma, oh no, this, we're not using parentheses, we're using this type of brackets, 1 comma 59. Okay, this is going to be your solution in interval notation. Right, so that's how you go about solving questions that involve absolute values. Okay, we're going to expand on this concept a little bit more in the next video.